In the heart of the Nubian desert and on the banks of the Nile River, call Abd Abu Simbel one of the greatest testaments to the greatness of ancient Egyptian civilization. Built by King Ramesses II to embody the gods and goddesses of ancient Egypt's power. It extends within a sandstone mountain in the 1960s, including a collective action organization to save this ship from sinking. It was dismantled and raised to a higher position. Today, Abu Simbel is an iconic destination for tourists from all over the world, who come to admire this amazing engineering feat and the grandeur of the ancient Egyptians. In 1812, archaeologist Burckhardt revealed the existence of these ancient temples. In 1817, Belzoni came and removed the sand that was covering it, revealing to the world the most beautiful rock temples ever. The temples of Abu Simbel were dedicated to the worship of four of the gods of ancient Egypt, Amun, Ra, Horachite, and Tor, and also to the worship of Ramesses II himself. The Great Temple, 31 meters high, is fronted and carved into the rock and adorned by four colossal statues of a seated Ramesses II. Each statue is 22 meters high, and despite its massiveness, its features are of perfect proportions. The spacious courtyard in front of the temple and the facade designed as an Egyptian edifice are topped with a traditional cornice and a row of 22 monkeys, symbolizing wisdom and power. In the effort to save the ruins of Nubia, the temple of Abu Simbel was moved to a location about 70 meters higher than its original location. This massive engineering feat is considered one of humanity's greatest achievements, as the site was cut into huge blocks, transported, and then reassembled with extreme precision. Inside the temple, in the middle of the hall are 8 huge columns carved into the rock, decorated with statues of Ramesses II in his Assyrian position, while images of the king's guardian eagle adorn the ceiling. The walls of the hall bear reliefs of scenes of the Battle of Kadesh, including scenes of a council of war being held. At the end of the journey inside the temple, the visitor arrives at the Holy of Holies, where there are 4 statues of Ra, Horachite, Amun-Ra, Ptah, and Ramses II. The sun sends its first rays to illuminate the face of the king's statue on 2 specific days every year, which are February 21st and October 21st. About 150 meters north of the Great Temple, Ramesses II built a smaller temple that he dedicated to the goddess Hathor and his beloved wife Nefertari. The facade of this temple is decorated with 6 statues, 4 of the king and 2 of the queen, embodied in the image of Hathor, with a sun disk between 2 feathers on her head. The royal statues stand accompanied by small statues of the king's sons. Inside this temple, there is a hall with 6 huge columns bearing Hathorian crowns, and its walls are decorated with scenes of the king and queen participating in religious rituals and offering sacrifices. The door leading to the Holy of Holies is decorated with a winged sun disk, and leads to a hall where the statue of Hathor is located. The walls here bear religious scenes that reflect the offering of sacrifices and religious rituals. The temples of Abu Simbel, with their architectural splendor and historical grandeur, remain a witness to the genius of ancient Egyptian civilization and its incomparable cultural legacy. In 1959, an international donation campaign was launched to save the archaeological monuments from drowning, as the traces of human civilization in the south were under threat from the rising waters of the Nile River, as a result of the construction of the high dam in Aswan. This gigantic project meant that the great temples of Abu Simbel were in danger of disappearing under the water. Rescue operations for the Abu Simbel temples began in 1964 and cost $40 million. Between 1964 and 1968, the entire site was cut into large blocks, some weighing up to 30 tons and averaging 20 tons. These giant blocks were carefully dismantled and reinstalled in a new location at an altitude of 65 meters and 200 meters above the river level. This process is considered one of the greatest feats of archaeological engineering, as some structures were salvaged from under the waters of Lake Nasser. Today, Abu Simbel Temple is one of the most prominent tourist sites, with thousands of tourists visiting these temples daily. Convoys of buses and escorted cars leave twice a day from Aswan, the closest city to the site. Many visitors also arrive by plane to the airport, which was built specifically to serve the temple complex. The Abu Simbel complex consists of two temples. The larger temple is dedicated to three of the ancient Egyptian gods, Ra-Harakti, Ka, and Oman, and its facade features for colossal statues of Ramesses II. The smaller temple is dedicated to the goddess Hathor, embodied by Nefertari, the most beloved wife of Ramesses II. Thus, the temples of Abu Simbel remain a witness to the greatness of ancient Egyptian civilization, and a living example of human engineering ability to preserve cultural heritage today. Tourists from all over the world still flock to enjoy the splendor of these temples, evoking the spirit and grandeur of the past.